YouTube, how we doing? Today we're going to be going into another 7-round mock draft, today being the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be a fun one because they're in an odd spot where they almost made the playoffs last year. They're in a weaker division other than the Buccaneers, and they're definitely a team that can make the wild card with a couple of right pieces put into place, but they are in a salary cap hell, honestly. They made enough space to even get Deshaun Watson, but those restructures are going to come back to bite them one day. And unfortunately, it's just a part of the game of restructuring contracts. So we need to get some young talent on this team who can help them out by producing starting caliber players at a young price. I think that's going to be something we do here. If you are new to the 7-round mock draft series, there are trades involved. This is always going to be as realistic as possible. I use the Draft Network and their trade machine, so if there's a trade you don't like, just let me know what's wrong with it in the comment section below, and we'll try and fix it in future episodes. But Saints fans, let me know who you want at pick 18 for your team here in the comment section below before we get into it, and then let me know how I did in this mock draft, of course. If you are new to the channel, please be sure to leave a like. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe if you are new. We've seen the subscriber count be jumping up recently, so please be sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you haven't already, check out Underdog Fantasy. The link is in the description. Use promo code Sormani, SORMANI, as your promo code when you sign up, and they're going to match your first deposit 100% up to $100. That's, you put down 10, you get 20. You put down 100, you get 200. It's an awesome site, and you can get all your fantasy bets in, even though it's the preseason right now. So starting off this mock draft at selection number 18, we are going to be selecting Chris Olave, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. He had a next-gen grade of 84. He came back an extra year at Ohio State. He could have came out last year, but he stayed in, and it helped him a ton because obviously he's a top 20 pick now in this mock draft. He's a dominant route runner. This guy is able to cut on routes like nobody's business. He's got top-line speed and agility. He really can make a lot of plays. He reminds me a lot of Justin Jefferson coming out of LSU. And I'm not saying he's going to be what Justin Jefferson is in this day and age, but I also won't say that it wouldn't surprise me. But being a wide receiver 2 behind Mike Thomas and then having Callaway and Trae to add some depth is perfect for Jameis Winston, who's going to air the ball out like he normally does. I think Chris Olave would be a perfect target for him. And it's, like I said, very similar to Justin Jefferson, who was playing behind Thielen and just absolutely became a stud his rookie year. I think Chris Olave can have a great rookie year. He's definitely one of my Rookie of the Year candidates that I got my eye on before the draft. So going into our first trade of the draft and our only trade of the draft, the Saints are going to be getting pick 31 in the first round and pick 136, and we're going to be giving up pick 49, 98, and 161. So we move up from 161 to 36. We move up from 49 to 31, and to compensate the value, we're giving up pick 98. I think it's a perfect move. We have a guy we want to go and get, and we're going back into the first round because this certain position, if you know who you want, you have to go up and get them, and that's what we're doing here. So at pick 31, we're going to take our future franchise quarterback in Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati. He had a 79 grade from Next Gen. You're trading up to get your guy at quarterback. That's what you have to do in the draft. You don't wait for quarterbacks. You go up and get them, and that's seen in every draft. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks because every single year he has developed more and more and shown growth every single year. I think he can benefit a lot from sitting behind Jameis for this first year, and he really can develop into a franchise quarterback because he can do it all. He can extend the play. He can break tackles. I think he needs to be less trusting of himself because sometimes, although he doesn't turn the ball over that much, he throws the ball into some shaky spots where, yes, you should trust Michael Thomas and Chris Olave, but, cleaning that up is going to help over the first year. But I really do see Desmond Ridder becoming a possible franchise quarterback if developed the correct way, and I think this is a perfect spot for him to develop in this offense behind Jameis Winston with the talent there is. I'm a big fan of Desmond Ridder. I think this is a perfect selection for the Saints to come up back into the first round and select. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy really quick. The NFL season's over, but you can still draft a new fantasy team on Underdog Fantasy and win cash prizes. They have a slick mobile app and a user-friendly site. You can also join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog are helping you guys out that are watching the video by matching up to $100 on your first deposit for new users when you use code SORMANI, SORMANI. So just go to underdogfantasy.com or go download the App Store or the Google Play Store. Sign up with the code SORMANI, that's SORMANI, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit all the way up into $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SORMANI, SORMANI. Now let's get back to this video. Here at pick 101, we're selecting Ed Ingram, the offensive lineman from LSU. He played guard at LSU, and he still can play guard at the NFL. He also can be moved out to tackle. And with Terron Armstead being gone, I think there's a huge hole at tackle that needs to be filled, whether that's Ed Ingram or it's Andres Pete or there's somebody else that can move outside. But this really gives you that versatility to, let Pete and Ingram kind of challenge each other for that left tackle role, or maybe move Ramczyk to left tackle. There's a lot of different things that needs to be done, but that left side needs to be protected, and Ed Ingram is only going to be able to aid that process instead of hurt it. So he shines in pass protection, which is what I love about Ingram. He really is one of the better pass protecting players in this draft. So getting him to possibly play left tackle, if he can transition well out there, I think would be awesome to protect the blind side of Jameis and Ridder. Here at pick 120, we're going to be selecting Rachaad White out of Arizona State. Kamara, we don't know what's happening with him, so that's still up in the air. Mark Ingram is older than most running backs in the NFL, so he's obviously not going to be here too long. And I didn't really see enough out of Tony Jones to make a certain opinion that he could be developing into a caliber running back. Rachaad White is that, though. He's a fascinating prospect. He really was showing his love for football at the Senior Bowl. He was making plays that were just instinctual that, you want to see from guys out there. The ball hit the ground. He didn't think twice. He picked it up, started going. So, yeah, I really do like what Rachaad White is able to give to an offense. Had a grade of 73 from Next Gen. He really was the only bright spot on the offense for Arizona State, because they had a pretty disappointing year on that side. But he can learn from Mark Ingram. He plays very similar to what Mark Ingram has done throughout his career. He can get to the outside, play inside. I mean, Rachaad White is pretty much an all-around back and one of my sleeper prospects in this class who I think can really turn into a very solid NFL player. Here at pick 136, our second to last selection of this draft, we're going to be taking Montaric Brown out of Arkansas. Had a next-gen grade of 65, but he has had so much experience at Arkansas. He has started so many different games. I think it's over 30 games he started at that level. He's an outside corner. Playing on the boundaries is definitely his best spot, which, every team just needs more and more corners and special teamers. So I think Brown is going to be able to step in there. He was a 4-star recruit. I think he was the #1 recruit in Arkansas at his time. So, I mean, the guy has the talent. We know he does. But one thing that I really love to see from him is his ball hawking ability. He's best in zone compared to man, but he really can play man as well, just not at the level he plays zone. But if he is in that zone and the ball is coming to him, he's going to make that play on the ball and most likely come down with it for an interception, which everyone needs some ball hawking corners. Safety is still an open position, so maybe you transform him into that free safety role and see how he plays there. Since he's better at zone, that's definitely a possibility as well. But I think there's no downside to selecting a guy like Montaric Brown here at 136. Sadly, the last pick of the draft, almost 100 picks later, the Saints are going to be selecting Trae Barry out of Boston College. In high school, he played so many different positions: quarterback, running back, tight end. There's a bunch of different things he played. And then he was at Jacksonville State for a while and then transferred from there to Boston College. So really, we haven't seen enough of him, especially in the FBS, to know what his ceiling is. But this is a team that doesn't have necessarily a set tight end position. Troutman is decent. He's just been hurt. Juwan Johnson showed a lot of promise, but getting a guy like Trae Barry to compete with those guys, you never know what untapped potential he could have at the position. He could turn out to be a very solid player. And, there is a former quarterback that plays tight end in Taysom Hill as well. So maybe Trae Barry can learn and become another type of Taysom Hill. He has the body and the frame for it, so that's definitely a possibility. So without further ado, that is going to be it for our 7-round mock draft. Please let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. What was your favorite selection? What would you change? Would you make the trade? Would you not? There's so many different things that could have been done, so just let me know in the comments below. Like if you can, it really does help me out a ton. If you didn't enjoy the video, it's okay. Just refresh the page and let me know what you think about it the second time, because without further ado, that is going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.
How you talking 50K? How you talking making plays or just talking? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do this shit on my own time. Time is money, so I did it on my own dime. Word to Bookie, yeah, that's homage. Gave me game, yeah, he taught me family ties. Put the back there off me, nah, I can't wait for you.